Today we have another team building with Jam episode. If you're new to these, we build a team around a particular thing and then we grab battles with it on the quote unquote high ladder, right? So 1800s plus. So today's team is going to be interesting in the sense that you see the Avalugg, so I don't need to explain. But when I was inspired, let's just say, I was scrolling through the tier, like, okay, well, the Pokemon list. Okay, what do I, what's interesting? What's striking me, right? And most mons I've used, if you can tell, the pattern has been team building with Jam, really using underused mons, literally, like just going to UU. I think, all of the relevant mons I've used, that could actually win some games. Sure, I haven't used Staraptor and things like that. That's to come, but I have to want to use it. And so Avalugg, as I went down the list, came about, and I was like, something I have not done in this team builder is focus more on cores, defensive cores, like building around, let's say, defensive mods. And Avalugg, funnily enough, right, what are some of the heaviest hitting physical mods right now? Bax, Dragonite, Tusk, Gambit, Roaring Moon, and yeah, so those are the heaviest ones. What's funny about it is that Bax gets shut down by Avalugg, right? Because it's so bulky, its HP is stupid and its defense is stupider, and even Glaive Rush probably isn't doing anything. I haven't ran the calcs, but I'm pretty sure that there's nowhere close to a 2K. I don't know how. I don't know if if Terra boosted Glaive Rush to it kills me. Bandit, I'd assume so, because that's a lot of power. But, I have obviously Terras and all those things. So we're rocking Terra Water, right? As we can see, we're running Curse Body Press. I thought about running Iron Defense and then just have the Ice Spinner as like, we use it when we can and just focus on using Body Press. But I think Curse has its merits, especially if I'm facing an opposing. I mean, I can't even think of what. Like, I guess there are cases where Curse can be useful, but over Iron Defense, having that boost in the attack for the Ice Spinner. Because in most cases, most things can be body pressed, which is why I'm like thinking out loud, partly. But I can think of a few cases where Curse can be good. I'm quite more than a few, but oh yeah, Azu is another thing that comes. But basically, I was like, okay, well, rather than in this team builder do an offensive mon and then try to structure the team, or offensive strategy and structure the team, let's see if I can do a solid enough core to where Avalugg can really thrive. And so the first step in every team building is figuring out what the objective is, right? So my objective is to use Avalugg in order to support and wall the entire tier. And so to do that, we're going to need mons that help it do what it can do, or focus on what it does best, which is take physical hits, right? And so we have to then find out, okay, what's going to give Avalugg trouble, right? Pretty much anything with a special move and some special attack, right? And so it's ice type, so it's weak to everything, right? It's less about what it's weak to and more what will KO it. So for example, let's say that it's not weak to dragon necessarily, but pretty much every dragon type's Draco Meteor is likely going to one-shot it, right? So if Draco Meteors are something you're going to be seeing often, then that's something to take note of. Walking Wake, Hydreigon, Dragapult, all probably one-shot it. Strong water moves or something or special water moves or something that I would also destroy. So none of those are super effective yet, can also destroy it in one go. So that's what I mean, or Ghost, right? So decided to go with Terra Water. Since it's Curse and has Body Press, it allows me to take on Gambit quite well. And none of the physical attackers that I mentioned can take advantage of the water typing, right? Whereas with something like Fairy, Gambit could take advantage of Fairy, because then you can't Terra into something that can take the Iron Head, right? Whereas water can do that. And water is just, it's only weak to grass and electric, and none of the physical mons abuse grass or electric type moves for the most part, unless it's Miarascarada. But even those run Leaf Storm sometimes, so you don't want to stay in on that. So yeah, other than that, and this is a great Roaring Moon check or counter if you want to even use that term. It's running amok. it's just beautiful. So to partner up with it and deal with a lot of the weaknesses, because it's more looking through the tier for the mons that would be coming in on you and doing a lot of damage. I opted for Slowking initially because Slowking can chilly reception and give you that extra little oomph right in your defense. That's a cool little tech. I still could use that. Pex covered a bit more with the same slot, and it also gives me something that supports the other mons, as you're gonna see. But Pex is where we go next. Some Heavily Spadef helps with Walking Wake, which Slowking was also gonna do. Slowking's Future Sight would have also been dope. Again, it's give or takes, right? Like Slowking provides things that Pex doesn't. Pex provides things that Slowking does not. I believe the core reason for Pex was actually I hadn't done the entirety of the team yet. I think the main reason was to cover for Volk, but we'll see as we play, because I can see ways to deal with that too. But even if I had Slowking, so I'll give you guys the free room, well, as if I need to give you permission, but meaning you can use you can swap them out and see what works well, right? Because the team is never done until it's used. So all this is just theory right now. So I'm running Toxic and Toxic Spikes. Toxic Spike is very good versus most offensive teams these days. And because I'm packing Hex Wisp Bolt, this is the set we're rocking. I enjoyed using it the other day when we did. C Spikes plus Hex, do I need to explain it, right? So Pex is good, Toxic is mandatory, and then Surf for cover. Heavily Spadef primarily for Walking Wake checking, right? If it's Sub Wake, it's over. Not really. Obviously, Infiltrator can do its damn thing, as well as Spadef Corviknight can wall it, but definitely won't be easy, right? Not as easy as Slowking coming in and just going for Future Sight, chilly receptioning, like giving that free switch, because this has U-turn, but that's the only way I have to get these beasts in. So I don't know, we'll see, man, we'll see. But Pex, and then lastly, well, not lastly, but as I was structuring the core, I opted for Corviknight, right? Corviknight. Corviknight helps patch the dragon and partly fairy, like, it's 2 fairies resist, but a lot of fairy types in the tier do a lot of different things. A lot of fairy types, as if there are a lot of fairies to begin with. But Valiant and Hatterene, I mean, these don't even really destroy Hatterene like that, but you get what I'm saying. Dragonite and Hatterene, and this is Spadef Bulk Up U-turn, specifically for Hatterene on the off chance it's feeling jiggy. I've seen a lot of them not have Mystical Fire and have Nuzzle. So if it's Nuzzle-less, if it's Nuzzle and Mystical Fire-less, you can obviously beat it 1v1 with the Spadef. Since Pex doesn't have Haze to neutralize it. And my Hydreigon is Subplot Draco Earth Power. Now, even this set can be played around with, especially since we have Gambit answers. So, I've seen Dark Pulse Flash Cannon as well, taking that stab boost from the Terra Steel. So that's an option. I've only used this particular variant, and it's worked well, so I'm going to continue to use that. But that's pretty much the core supporting each other. Again, I can see cases for Slowking. It's really just toying around with this stuff, but Avalugg is the star of the show here. Great Tusk is standard Tusk on this particular set team. I have 2 versions of this. You'll see both. I might just use today's Thursday. We'll see. Hexpult takes advantage and gives an additional speed tier, and Hydreigon's there to blast through a lot of those fat teams. Because I don't have a lot of firepower, right? So I opted for Hydreigon to sort of round that out and bust through teams. Bolt is really annoying versus offensive teams, and T-Spikes plus Bolt. And then the other ones, like Avalugg can bash an offensive team to 2, depending on if it's primarily physical or special. And so the other version of this was similar-ish, but it was faster Tusk with offense. Same Hydreigon, and they had Garganical. So yeah, I can see so many different adjustments, particularly since this one is Garg. It has a bit more sound of a Volt switch, so you could make a case for Slowking here. Just so many adjustments that could be made, but I'm going to go with this version for now. About 10 minutes. I like to keep the team builder under 10 minutes. We're gonna get the party started, right? And so if we look at this opponent's team, this is literally what we're discussing, except he has immense over Roaring Moon. Let's say at a Roaring Moon, let's assume the Valiant was physical. Literally, Avalugg would curse and win after I killed the Pex, right? Which is very unlikely, but you get the idea. But I think more importantly, the Polt set on this is very annoying, especially if it's not Lumberry Valiant. He's also very, very weak to my Hydreigon, right? And so that's the beauty of him. And then the defensive core can stomach anything. So let's take a look at it and break it down. So let's take a look just from the defensive core standpoint. Cinderace is completely shut down by Toxapex. I wouldn't say Tusk is shut down, but Tusk is not a problem. Valiant, between Corviknight and Pex, Valiant could get annoying depending on what the set is, but with T-Spikes we should go well. But it can't sweep or anything like that. This guy between Avalugg and Tusk is shut down, plus Wisp and whatnot. Mence is shut down by Pex plus Corviknight because it could be special and have Draco Hurricane and Flamethrower. And Pex is obviously not an offensive threat, which gives me the room to do a lot of stuff with my offensive core. And by stuff I mean just destroy him with Dragapult. That's likely going to happen with my Dragapult being in versus Pex, which is not easy, but Pex versus Pex means I get the free switch. I get the free T-Spikes up. And so also bulk up Corviknight could sweep him depending on what the Pex moveset is. So phase one is going to be Tusk. So I'll Pex first. Pex into Mence. Just intimidate Mence. Okay. I'm gonna Toxic Spike first, because I know he's going Pex. Right? What else is he gonna do? The good thing about this is that now his Pex wants to switch out. So it's Infestation. Interesting. Is it a red card or something? Infestation. So it's probably Infestation Toxic, which means that Infestation Toxic Recover. Surf. It might not have haze. Yeah, Surf. Infestation is a little annoying because I'm losing health. But if he's not careful, so it's Infestation Toxic Surf, which means he doesn't have haze. Like he could lose straight up now. Let me think. If I let him Infestation, I'll lose too much health. Okay. So I end up doing is, since I know that's what he's gonna do, because he's seen U-turn, so he's gonna assume that's what I'm gonna do repeatedly. He could go hard Cinderace this turn. The downside is obviously if I Ice Beam. Interesting. Surf Infestation. So recover. So he doesn't have Toxic, which means he can't touch my Polt, which is a little annoying. Infestation Surf. Okay, here comes the Cinderace. Here goes Salmon. So this must have Flamethrower. The thing about it is that the Pex, the Mence, I could Flamethrower Mence. What the fuck is this guy? I could Flamethrower. I could U-turn here. Well, we'll Pex first. I'll play it cool. So it goes for that. Real T-Spikes on this Pex switch. Now I know his Pex set is less concerning as the Infestations. He bulks up, which means he's probably specs. Okay, cool. Now that I know it's set, I don't need to be concerned about anything. Very interesting. So infestations again. How many does he have left? A good bit. Good enough. Enough. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted. Especially since I know his spec set now. So the Pex is gonna get burnt, which is gonna ice beam. But now I know it's set. Does he double? Fuck my. Oh my goodness! My goodness! Goodness gracious! Goodness gracious! Goodness gracious! Okay, we'll make do. We'll make do. So I'll put it back to Polt here, unless he ice beams again. Yeah, infestations. That's not good. It's not great for me because he's gonna get the ice beam. It's offensive. Wow. Hex 34%. My Polt's gone, which is not good. You might not stay in. That was that wasn't good. The freeze definitely threw things off, obviously, but all around that was just not a great sequence for me. Ideally, because if I can get rid of his pecs, if I can get him to stay in here, fearing my Hydreigon, because obviously he can't switch into Dragon. So it goes Gambit. So I EP twice. I plot into. If I plot first, plot into sub. I'm try to sack. If I EP first as the Iron Heads, I'll plot first. Terra Fairies. It's Terra Blast Fairy shit. Well, which means that he can Katao here, which is likely what he'll do. He Terra'd. Showed me his Terra Blast Fairy, Katao. If I Terra here, I can't Terra my Avalugg. I don't need to. Oh my fucking god, that damn. That's gonna really bite me in the ass. It's probably gonna Katao here. Terra Blast it again. I didn't expect him to Terra Blast. I don't think he'll switch it out because I can sub. Yeah, no, I've conditioned him to stay in now. But fuck. The problem is that I don't know if my Corviknight is gonna unthaw, which is a really big issue. I'll let my timer go down a bit. If I sub and he goes Mence, he's in trouble. Especially if the Mence is modest. Alright, he could sucker me. I'm no longer a dark type. He'll sucker this turn. I actually expected him to sucker punch there. It's too big of a risk if I sub, because I could sub and then you gotta try to outplay the sucker punch, and I'm getting a ton of left. It's too big of a gamble. Now my Dragon was always an issue, but okay, so it's speed boosting Valiant. I'd assume it's okay. So Aura Spheres. I'm surprised he went Valiant first then. My Toxapex is a really big issue. It's just I need the unthaw. Like, Corviknight is so problematic for him. Corviknight plus Toxapex together, huge issues. Fuck. Okay. Okay, let's make do. Let's see. If I get rid of the Mence's specs, that means he can't Hurricane. Helmet, okay. Now he's gonna double back to Toxapex. Actually, just Hurricane again. It's not what I expected, but it doesn't. I won't say it doesn't matter. Him going Pex repeatedly on my Hydreigon could be like a disaster for him. Corviknight needs to. Jeez, man. We'll start dwelling on it. It is what it is. It's special. But the game is far from over, you know. It's not like I've lost or anything. It's just, well, I'm so focused on what aggravated me about it that I'm not focusing. Okay, let's break this down. How does he get past Pex? He needs Great Tusk and he needs a lot of he needs Great. So I'll keep getting my leftovers here. He needs Great Tusk is the only one that can get past my Pex. And that's if this definitely has a fire move. He keeps hurricaning. So core change would be a complete waste of a move. So it goes to Pex. That's fine. We'll go back to Corviknight here. Good infestation. The downside of this is that I can thaw as I do. Excellent. That's what he didn't want. Okay, so I've thawed, which is big. Which is big, big, big. That's what she said. You can U-turn this turn. It's not too big of a detriment. I did not expect Cinderace. Thanks. Tusk. Tusk versus Ace. I say burns my Tusk. In exchange for the Cinderace's health. Because also what I'm looking at is Cinderace. No, let's just play patiently. Because what Toxic Spikes does is it forces Valiant. Like I control basically what he does every turn. Every time T-Spikes is up, he can only go to, well, he can go to 3 of his mines, but I know he can never go Tusk. So he always has to go for Infestation. And if my Hydreigon gets a free switch in, like he's gonna lose a mon, right? And so, woke up. Infestation, he's used a lot of them. How much am I losing per turn? I'm at 66. I'll bulk up again. Even if Cinderace comes in, it's irrelevant. We're always going to go Pex. Is it Wisp? Okay, it is Wisp. Okay. We T-Spikes again. As I said, we're going to keep this thing going. So I'm at 71. Let's see how much I'm losing per turn. I wasn't paying attention to that. So Infestation, that does 1%. And I lose 12. But he's losing 2 Infestations. Cinderace were to come in. Cinderace don't need to. Can bulk up this turn. Search. Cinderace comes in here. Search doing actual decent damage. Is not interesting. But I'll let the Cinderace come in. I don't think there's too much downside. Could core change his turn, but it's always in his best interest to U-turn, pivot back to Pex. So I T-Spikes repeatedly and Uva. I'm trying to condition him into giving me my free switch into my my Hydreigon. Excellent. As I said, the question is, the defensive core is out. Like now, I played my Polt shittily. I forgot about him just leaving. Like it wasn't worth the risk of me making that double. Like I was just trying to beat this guy in the shortest time possible, and then that costs me. It's usually something I do if it's ladder. Like if it's a live, I'm like, I don't want to play a fucking 20-year game. Almost I clicked. What's it called there? Just Wisp U-turn core change. So Pex doing what it does. He doesn't want to use up his infestations. He realizes that's what I'm doing. I'm pressure stalling them. So he has 9 left. So I can always U-turn on his Pex. I can always go back and forth. And eventually a Cinderace will lose enough health. So what I'm actually going to do is go Hydreigon here. Start getting leftovers back and having him waste his Pyro Balls. Excellent. Excellent. That's fine. That is fine by me. Fine. Because literally the same sequence is going to happen again. You'll U-turn, go to Pex, I'll go to Corviknight, and he'll go back to, if he goes back to Cinderace. There's nothing he can go into that can not stop me from going to Pex. Like, there's nothing he can do. No amount of doubles, no. You can try to core change again here. Problem is that'll make him, so he's used 3 Power Balls. right now, I wish I had leftovers. Leftovers would be clutch. But I haven't used a single recovery yet. We're just using regen. So how toxic here on the odd chance he foolishly stays and stop critting me, punk. So now I can T-Spike. I actually meant no, it's better to Corviknight here. I don't need to T-Spike this turn because I know he's gonna Infestation here, so there's no point. Here we just bulk up. The Ice Beams. Curious how much BB would do to curious how much it would do to so it goes Mints. Send a Hurricane this turn. If he has Hurricane, he probably can't touch my Dragon. 5 Roosts. He's definitely Hurricaning on the Peck's turn here. I can Roost this turn because I don't know what he's going to do. You think Fayut? I mean, I doubt he can touch. I can recover it off either way. 27%. Yeah. Might have Earthquake as his other move. I'm curious as to what this says. Roost. Yeah, so it is EQ. Which means it's probably what, Defog or something? Let's find out. I'll be able to, if it is Flamethrower, I'll U-turn this first turn because I'm max, but if he won't be able to do any damage. So it seems like he cannot touch Hydreigon. I wanted T-Spikes up here. We'll pivot back to Pex to cover for Valiant. We'll Toxic this turn. If he has T-Bolt, Psyshock, okay. It should T-Bolt. It doesn't have T-Bolt. If he had yeah, if he had T-Bolt, he'd use it here. Now he pivots to Cinderace. Thing is, I have Tusk and I have Pex for Ace. And the only reason the Ace is even doing any damage, a T-Bolt never 2 kills me, or Spheres. If only that mattered. So that's phenomenal that I Toxic him. That means now I can go to Hydreigon and substitute, which is something he's been trying to avoid. Now that I know, it's probably default. I mean, what else would it like? I don't know what the third move is. It's clearly not Flamethrower. So if he has to Pyro Ball, if he's gonna attack me, which would allow me to Earth Power KO him. Wow, that didn't kill. What? A Cinderace took a Earth Power? Just with at 70? That can't be right. That can't be right. I must be missing something. That can't be right. Cinderace? Because that's a big fucking survivor. It's not like losing the game big, but, you know, I'm running the count now as if it matters. Hydreigon. I suppose now he can't come in on, yeah, this shit has like, because I'm like, that cannot be 75%. This dude's like max HP Cinderace. Or some weird shit like that. Alright, we'll go back to Pex here. That's the Pyro. We'll recover here. We need that health right now. This is a Pyro might have killed me with a crit there. Should have went for it. Recover here is clutch. He goes Mints, I Toxic it. So now I know my Corviknight walls. So Corviknight walls his entire team. So once I bulk up, it's over. And then especially because he's running out of Pyro Balls, he's trying to Will-O-Wisp me so that at least he has some residual going for him. But Corviknight walls the entire team. And Avalugg can 1v1 his Tusk. So this is what I mean, where it's like the defensive core can be so sound. And truth be told, I got a bit overly aggravated by the dam, and now I can get the regen. Excellent. I got overly aggravated by the freeze. You can see how big of a difference it would have made if my Corviknight wasn't around, right? Yeah. Infestations again, which means he only has 6 left. 6 surfs this turn. Curious how much Brave Bird's doing. Goes to Mints. Thing about Mints is it can't touch Corviknight, so it's set up fodder. So he's going to probably double back out into. Okay. Oh, crit him there. Which blows. He's trying to confuse Axe me. see, I should go hard Cinderace here. It's trying to confuse actually. Yeah. It's doing so much. Bulk up here. Should have roost for the Berry Bird's doing good damage. I could wrap the game up here. Mence would die. Let's roost one more time. Should go Cinderace. Yeah, that was a risky play. I knew I could sweep with Cinderace. I mean, with Corviknight later. So it's not like, because if I BB on that turn, he's done. Like he can't win at all. Whereas if he sacks Mence goes, I mean, it's not as if he really has a shot anyway, but like he would have guaranteed lost there. Forgot that my pick says Toxica. But anyway, we always just go Corviknight here. He's gonna double to Cinderace. It goes to Toxapex, interestingly enough. But as I said, the downside. So we just bulk up here. Should go hard Cinderace. Yeah, I could have what's it called there. But again, there's no, like, I'm not in danger. Like he has all the pressure on him. The T-Spikes only matter versus his Tusk now. I'm just gonna double to Cinderace here. But as I said, like, so what? Like, okay, here we go again. Let's do this again. Okay, let's do this again. So it goes to Tusk. There are a couple ways I could deal with this. It could be Headlong Rush Tusk. Let's see what my worst case scenarios would be. Worst case scenario would be, it is what, bulk up CC. We'll go hard Avalugg here. It's rapid spins. Okay. Let's see if he has anything to touch me. If he switches the Tusk out, then it's fine. Okay, so it is bulk up. Just probably bulk up knockoff. Yeah, should go hard Pex, which he's trying to avoid. So now that I know it's Tusk set, I'm good. T-Spikes here. This doesn't matter, but I know he's gonna Luckfish, as he should. We'll T-Spike once more. Sludge Bomb. Okay, so he doesn't even have recover. Okay. I don't know why he showed me that he doesn't have recover there. Crit me. Let's see, Infestation lasts. 1, 2, 3. Discover. Yeah, it's doing decent damage to me, which is insane. It's insane to say. So Infestation. If I go Dragon, there's no point. I was gonna say if I go Dragon, I have him, but I'm surprised he hasn't forfeited. Now I know your Tusk set, and your Tusk loses to Avalugg. I wasn't. So court changes. Okay. Again, we're gonna do this again. So I'm gonna go to. You can't go to Great Tusk. He does go hard Tusk. Okay. So he's gonna go for knock this turn then. It still won't matter. Yaku's always curse here. Actually, no, we'll just Ice Spinner here. Yeah, because it doesn't matter if he goes Pix. I don't want him to crit my Great Tusk. I mean, crit my yeah. Keeps critting me, bro. Like, stop this. Why is he doing so much to me? I wonder what his item is. It's doing 13% to me. I'm at 49. Let's see. So surf here, 9%. Like, I lost. All right, Infestation does way so. It does a lot of damage. That's why. I am free. And now obviously we just surf. Now we get Hydreigon in, and it's a wrap. Give me one of your mons, bro. Always Earth Power. There's nothing you can switch into that would stop it. Wow, it's AV. Is AV? It did. Earth Power did 36%. It's AV. Okay. The Pex is gone now. He gets to go Valiant, but I have a whole ass Corviknight, and you're toxic, and I know you're not T-Bolt, or you would have used it, obviously. So you expect my Corviknight, rightfully so. Problem is now you gotta go to Mince. Just Brave Bird here. There's no downside. He's gonna go Mince, and then he actually leaves the Valiant in. I was gonna say he's gonna go Mince, then double out, but the problem is now you can't even beat my Avalugg. Well, you can, but he can't switch into Avalugg. So it goes Tusk, rightfully so. How do I want to go about this? Could you turn into Draco? Let's do that. See, I can only woke up, right? We'll just Draco Meteor. One oh, he didn't die. He's max Spadef. Okay. Woke up. So he's Spadef. Draco did 65. He's Ice Spinner, interesting. Woke up. Very interesting. Obviously, Avalugg's taking nothing from that. I'll curse first. I was gonna say like would a crit knock me out, but if he switches to Tusk out, all boosts are gone. And then Pex can't deal. He can't deal with Pex. So now let's say this Will-O-Wisps. Let's say I knock out Cinderace, then he can't beat my. You have to go to Mince, and it's better to go Pex, and then T-Spike, which would shut down Tusk completely. Probably hard switches to Tusk, but yeah. And now you have to. Well, I just Corviknight. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. Chord change, I suppose. Go ahead. Problem with chord changing is that it's permanent. I just T-Spike again and then you're done. Yeah. And then you're done. T-Spike again. And then we surf here. No, there's no point. We'll get the leftovers rounds. I'm just trying to think of a way out. I'll win this game and wrap up this, but it's like, there's no risk on my end. So why not just make the right plays every turn, you know? So since he can't chord change, the T-Spike's away, and I can always, well, yeah, because I just toxic spam. There's nothing you can do. I can chord change, but I just toxic spam. Good game. Good game. But I knew this core was gonna be very hard to break. I told y'all that when I was building this. It's funny, my two offensive mons are the only mons that have even a decent amount. The only reason my Corviknight has damage is because I let it. Finish him up, Avalugg. Let's see how much fireball. That's 37. That's cute. He burnt me, but that wasn't enough. That was cute. Alright, so that was 38 minutes for one battle, bros. Well, the team builder was, so there's probably 28 minutes. Don't call it stall. I just knew from, I know, it's just actually why I don't use style like this. Because if I have a solid enough core, unless the opponent has some way to break it, I am not, but it's going to take it's a 135 turn game. That's not ideal for Showdown lives. So I try to stray away from this style. But this is a great showcase of something that's just solid. Both my offensive mons are gone. I gave Hydreigon up and I just threw Polt away. But imagine if I had, this should have been a way easier game, truth be told. I got impatient and got punished for it, but we prevailed. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one in battle. Peace.